的美国女友15岁就开始打工赚钱。
Most high schoolers opt to work so that they can start saving for college because parents don't pay for college. Is that like a thing in China? Do you have allowances?
Yeah, well, in China, your parents kind of pay for your everything until they can't anymore. So, you say you grew up here?
Yes, I did.
Where exactly?
So right now we're in Hummelstown, and Hummelstown is a little bit different than where I grew up. I grew up like on the border of Hershey, which is about 2 towns over. So it's a 15-minute drive from my house to here.
Tell us about your high school.
Yeah,
Where
my
is
high
it?
school is about 500 feet that way. It is called Lower Dolphin High School. It's kind of like an older school for like, so there's the Hershey School District, which has all of the tax dollars coming from Hershey Park and everything like that.
Did you have any Asian kids at that school?
Any Asian kids? Yeah, one of my best friends was Asian. She was adopted from Fuzhou.
Fuzhou?
Fuzhou. She's one of the smartest in the class, and now she's off doing like she works for a chemical company doing skincare. So
Ooh, that's
she did a
amazing.
good job. Yeah.
What else do you want to say to our viewers in China about your hometown?
About my hometown, it's very simple life. You know, in China, you're going to school for a lot of your time. Not as much here. It's more about the community of people that you find at school. So we spend a lot of our time after school, honestly, working. A lot of us worked. Hershey Park employs pretty much exclusively high schoolers. So if you go to any local restaurant around here, you're probably going to be being served by a high schooler. A lot of us join the workforce very early. My first job was when I was in 9th grade. I worked at a pretzel twisting place, so I would twist the pretzels. But a lot of my other friends, they would either work at Hershey Park or they would work at a place like this, serving and doing all of that. It's a very small town thing to work in a small business when you're in high school.
Will they be doing that because they're poor or just because they're bored? Or
Mixture of both. It's a nice extra income for you when your parents stop giving you an allowance. Is that like a thing in China? Do you have allowances?
yeah, well, in China, your parents kind of pay for your everything until they can't anymore, which is around, you know, the time you get out of college or sometimes even
here
past
it's
that.
much earlier. In high school, like if you want to go to the mall with your friends or you want to see a movie, like you have to come up with that money yourself. Most high schoolers opt to work so that they can start saving for college because parents don't pay for college.
Why not? Say if you got into a really good school, why wouldn't your parents pay for college?
Oh, they don't have the money. There's not a chance. The minimum wage here is $7.25 an hour. It's really, really low. It's about half what it is in New York City. So my first ever job, they paid me $10 an hour, and that was like, whoa. But my mom was teaching preschool, and she was being paid the same amount as me as an educator. The same amount that I was getting for twisting pretzels. So that system is it's a little bit broken. And if you work at Hershey Park, you're getting $7.25 an hour.
But as you know, in China, you know, parents would do anything to send their kids to school. They would sell their house, they would, you know, sell their cars just so they can go to a good school for a better future.
Here is a bit different. We're also like, here it's a very small town feel. Everybody's very close. It's a really self-sustainable community. I have a lot of friends that have gone off to college and weren't able to find a job, and then they come back and they live here and they're taken care of. They're just in a lot of student debt.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really rough. I'm probably one of the few people that successfully moved outside of the state in my class. I thought it was gonna be a tiny, like, personal pizza. It's a whole pizza.
And I got a steak. Oh. 他每次都喜欢偷我的薯条。
That's some
Yeah.
almost on price.
Greens, I like greens. 大家猜这个多少钱？在他们这个小破地方，这个都要30块钱。How much is this?
$18 for this whole pizza.
Oh wow, that's kind of cheap.
I know, right?
Yeah.
That's why I thought it was gonna be tiny.
在美国呢，我们讲这个牛还在叫，This cow is still mooing.